Okay, here we go. So good morning or good afternoon, right? Whenever you're watching this video. So this is Mr. Koyasu, and today we're gonna be going over how to solve two-step equations, okay? So yesterday, y'all should have watched a video about how to solve one step with Ms. Alderman. Today, we're taking it up a notch, right? We're going to two-step. So here are the two steps we're gonna be doing basically over and over again, okay? So step one, we're going to isolate the variable so it's always on the left-hand side, okay? Step two, the coefficient in front of the variable needs to equal the value of 1, okay? So if that doesn't make a lot of sense right now, hopefully when we do some examples, you'll get the idea, okay? So let's go to number 1. So we need to solve, right? So I have 3x minus 4 equals 11. And y'all see on your paper, or like on my example, right? I already have the line drawn down the equal sign, okay? You should always do that first. Now we're going to isolate the variable. So I just want the variable on this left-hand side, okay? So that means I need to get rid of this minus 4, okay? So hopefully y'all remember from yesterday, when I want to do that, right, I need to do the opposite operation of this minus 4, right? Now the opposite of minus 4 is plus 4, right? And then just like Ms. Alderman told y'all yesterday, what y'all do to one side, you need to do to the other. So I'm gonna plus 4 on this side too, okay? So now I'm gonna draw my line. Now, when I have minus 4 and plus 4, hopefully y'all remember from yesterday, that gives me a 0 pair, okay? 0 pair. So I'm just gonna draw a big old 0 on that, okay? Now everything I have, I'm gonna bring it down. So see I have this 3x left on the left side, so I'm gonna bring it down. On the right side, I have 11 plus 4. Well, we know that's 15. Okay? So, first step is done. Now I need to do the second step. I need the coefficient, so remember that's this number right here, in front of the variable, to equal the value of 1. Okay? So, to do that, hopefully, again, y'all remember from yesterday, we're going to do the opposite operation of this right here, of 3x. So, if y'all remember, 3x is the same as 3 times x. So to do the opposite, we're going to divide by the number in front. So we're going to divide by 3. And what I do to one side, I need to do to the other. So I divide by 3 there. Okay? So when we divide, right, a number divided by itself, that gives me a value of 1, right? It's a big 1. So on the left-hand side, all I have is 1x. Okay? On the right-hand side, I have 15 divided by 3. Well, we know that's 5, right? Now, do I have to say 1x equals 5? No, we don't. We could shorten it, right? We can just say x equals 5. And we're done. That's it. We solved one. Okay? 2 steps. So 1, 2. All right? Easy, right? Let's go to number 2. So number 2, I have negative 3a minus 9 equals negative 24. So same thing, I want to isolate the variable. So I want just the a, right, this letter, on the left side. So I need to do the opposite of minus 9, right? Well, the opposite of minus 9 is plus 9, right? What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Plus 9. Draw our line, right? Minus 9 plus 9, well, that cancels each other out. That gives me a 0 pair, okay? And then I can bring everything down. So I draw my little arrow. I bring down negative 3a. And on the right side, I have negative 24 plus 9. You can use your calculator if you need to. That gives me negative 15. Okay? Step 1 done. Now we're on to step 2. So step 2, I need this coefficient to be a value of 1. Okay? So to undo negative 3 times a, I'm going to divide by negative 3. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Okay? Now, right, when I have a number divided by itself, that gives me a value of 1. So on the left-hand side, I'm left with 1a. On the right-hand side, I'm left with negative 15 divided by negative 3. When you divide a negative by negative, we get a positive 5. Okay? And again, we don't have to say 1a, right? We can just say a equals 5. Boom. Just like that. Okay? Rolling right along. Let's go to number 3. So number 3, I have 42 minus 2x equals 232. okay? So same thing for the first step. I want to isolate the variable, okay? So in this case, right, my variable is 2x, right? Usually the variable's on the far left side, but it can be in the middle too. That's fine. Which means we need to get rid of this 42, right? This positive 42, right? Because there's no sign in front, so we assume it's positive. So to get rid of the positive 42, we're going to subtract 42, right? What we do to one side, we have to do to the other. Draw our line, okay? Exactly the same. 42 minus 42, 0 pair, right? And then we bring everything down. So I'm gonna bring down negative 2x. 232 minus 42, you can put that in your calculator. You get 190, okay? First step done. Now to the second step. I need this to be a value of 1, right? Negative 2 times x. So we've done it a couple times now. We're going to undo it by dividing by negative 2. What I do to one side, have to do to the other, right? It gets really repetitive. So negative 2 divided by negative 2, we know that is a value of 1. So that gives me 1x. On the right side, 190 divided by negative 2 gives me negative 95, right? Big number. And again, we don't have to say 1x. We can just say x equals negative 95. And we're done, okay? Easy, 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 right? 2 steps. Now, we're gonna go to number 4. Now, if y'all look at number 4, it has a fraction, right? No, y'all don't look like fractions too much, but it's pretty easy. So same thing, we need to isolate the variable. So even though the variable is attached to a fraction, we're gonna do it the same way. So first step, I need to get rid of this plus 17. So to get rid of plus 17, we subtract 17 from both sides, right? And we draw our line. 17 minus 17 cancels out. That gives me a 0 pair. And we bring everything down. So I'm gonna draw my arrow. 3/4 x equals 23 minus 17. That gives me 6, okay? So this is where you might get a little stuck, a little confused, right? But hopefully, y'all watched the video from yesterday that Miss Alderman said. When we need to get rid of a fraction, okay, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, okay? So the reciprocal means we're going to flip the fraction and multiply both sides by it, okay? So watch how I'm gonna do this. So I have 3/4, right? So the reciprocal of 3/4 is going to be 4/3, okay? So if I multiply this side by 4/3, I need to multiply the right side by 4/3, okay? Use your calculator. So here, right, 4/3 times 3/4, well, that gives me a value of 1 still, right? That's the whole reason we're doing this, so we can get a value of 1. So I have 1x on the left side, right? On the right side, 6 times 4/3, you should put that in your calculator, you will get 8, okay? And then we don't need 1x, so x equals 8. Easy, okay? The only tricky part here is the reciprocal, okay? And that just takes practice, right? So moving along to 5. So 5, we have another fraction, right? But we just did this one, and we're gonna do it the same way. So number 5, I have 1/5 y plus 6 equals negative 2, okay? So same thing, I wanna keep the y's on the left side. So I'm going to get rid of this 6, right? The opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Okay, just like that. Now, plus 6 minus 6 cancels, 0 pair. We bring everything down. 1/5 y equals negative 2 minus 6. It's tricky, it's double, they're both negative, so it's minus 8, okay? Now here we are again with the fractions, right? So to get rid of the fraction, we have to multiply by the reciprocal. So if I have 1/5, the reciprocal of that, when we flip it, we're gonna multiply by 5/1 on both sides, right? So I'm gonna multiply this side by 5/1, okay? So the whole reason we do this, right? We get a value of 1 on the left. So I get 1y equals negative 8 times 5/1. Again, you can use your calculator. You get negative 40, okay? So then I bring it down, right? We don't have to say 1y. We can just say y equals negative 40. Okay, just like that. Oh, you can't even see the answer. I bet. There we go. Okay. Number 6. So number 6, this one looks a little different. So I have negative 80 equals negative 9x plus 1. Okay. So if we go up here, right? We need to isolate the variable so it's always on the left-hand side, okay? So if you get something like this is what I would do to start, okay? I would flip everything, okay? Just flip it. So I would just rewrite this as negative 9x plus 1 equals negative 80, okay? Just so now it looks like all the other problems we've done, okay? That's what I would do first, so it's on the left side, okay? Now we can start to isolate it, right? Just like we've been doing. So, right, I want the x right here. I want to get rid of this plus 1. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. Draw my line. Okay? Plus 1 minus 1 cancels. I get a 0 pair. I bring down negative 9x. On the right side, negative 80 minus 1. Well, that's negative 81, right? To get the x by itself, right, I need a value of 1 here. So negative 9 times x, we're going to divide by negative 9 on both sides, right? On the left side, I get a value of 1. That's the whole reason we're doing this. So I get 1x equals negative divided by negative, 81 divided by 9. That gives me a positive 9, right? So final answer, x equals 9. Okay? Hopefully that makes a little sense, right? First page, done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the back and we're going to look at some word problems, okay? And this picture is going to be posted, so I will come back to it. So in these word problems, right, at the very top, we have some key words that we need to look for in these word problems, okay? So some key words to look for. Is means equals in word problems. Okay, like 2 plus 2 is 4, right? 2 plus 2 equals 4. Total means equals, right? The total of 2 and 2 is 4, okay? And results, you can kind of guess what that one means. Equals. All 3 of these words are key words for equals, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind when we go to write, or when we're like doing some of these word problems, okay? So number 7, what we need to do is write and solve each equation, okay? So number 7 says 3 times a number decreased by 6 is 24, okay? So let's kind of write underneath what all of that stuff means. So 3 times a number, right? We've done that enough times. Y'all know 3 times a number, 3x, right? Decreased by means subtraction. 6 is 6. And then we just talked about this, right? Is means equals. So equals 24, okay? So that's basically it. Now we just have to put it all together. So instead of being all spaced out, we can rewrite this as 3x minus 6 equals 24, okay? But now, so that's the first part, right? I wrote it. Now I need to solve it. So I didn't really give myself much room, so I'm gonna go over here. So I'm going to rewrite it over here. So 3x minus 6 equals 24. Okay? So first step, right? We draw our line. Okay? And we want to isolate the variable. So I need to get rid of this minus 6. So to do that, we've done this enough times. We add 6 to both sides. Draw our line. Okay? Minus 6 plus 6, 0 pair. And we bring everything else down. So 3x equals 24 plus 6. Well, that's 30, okay? Last step, right? We want that value of 1. So we're going to to undo 3 times x, we're going to divide by 3 on both sides, right? That gives me a value of 1. So I have 1x equals 30 divided by 3 is 10, right? And we don't have to say that. We can just say x equals 10. That's our answer, okay? So this one, it takes a little longer, right? Because we have to write it and solve it, but it's not bad. It's not bad. We've done all these things before. Now let's go to 8. So 8, we're going to do the same way. I'm going to write this stuff underneath, put it together, and then solve over here, okay? So number 8, I have 5 increased by twice a number is 39, okay? So let's go word by word. So 5, right? That's 5. Increased by, well, that means plus. Twice a number, well, that means 2x, is 39. Well, equals 39, right? It's pretty easy, right? We've seen all these words before. So when we put it all together and make one equation, we get, I'm gonna do it over here, so we get 5 plus 2x equals 39. Okay? Now we're gonna solve it. So, ooh, I almost shook that. Oh, I did shake it. There we go. Okay. So 5 plus 2x equals 39, right? We want the variable by itself, so I need to get rid of this positive 5, because, right, there's no sign in front, so we assume it's positive. So to do that, we're going to draw our line, and we're going to subtract by 5 on both sides. Okay? And we draw our line. 5 minus 5, well, that's a 0 pair. We bring the 2x down. 39 minus 5, that's 34. Okay? Last step, I need a value of 1. So we divide both sides by 2. I get my value of 1 here. And I get 1x equals 17, right? Or, final answer, x equals 17. Boom, just like that. We're done. Okay? 2 more to go. Number 9. Okay, so number 9, 20 less than 1/2 a number results in 140. There's a lot of fancy words there. So let's go one by one, right? So 20, right, that's 20. Less than, oh, less than, that's a key word. Let me put a little star by less than, because I know that tells me I have to flip. So let's keep that in mind for later. So less than 1/2 a number, so 1/2 x, results in 140. So results, right, that means equals. So equals 140, okay? So this one, we can't just write it like we did this top one, right? We have to flip here, okay? So watch how I'm gonna do that. So instead of 20 minus 1/2 x, the real equation is going to be 1/2 x minus 20 equals 140, right? We had to flip it, okay? Now this one, we have enough room, we can just solve it here, okay? So same thing, we want this variable by itself. So I need to undo this minus 20. So we draw our line, and we're going to add 20 to both sides, right? Okay, so when we add 20, minus 20 to 20, 0 pair. Bring everything down. So 1/2 x equals 140 plus 20. Well, that's just 160. Okay? Now again, we have a fraction. So to get rid of the fraction, hopefully y'all remember, we multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/2, right? The opposite, we flip it, times 2/1. So both sides we're gonna multiply by 2/1. Okay? So on the left side, right? 2/1 times 1/2. The whole reason we do this, to get a value of 1. That's a weird one, but it's all right. So we have 1x equals 160 times 2/1. That's a big number. That's 320. Okay? So final answer, write it over here. X equals 320. Boom, done. Okay? Last one. So this one is a real word problem, right? It is a whole couple of sentences. So this one, to rent a beach umbrella, the deposit is $20 plus another $3.50 per hour. How many hours did you stay if you paid a total of $50? Okay? So we have a lot of things going on here. Okay? So first thing, the deposit is $20, right? Plus another $3.50 per hour. Okay? So hopefully this kind of makes sense because we've seen a few of these before. So the equation that we're setting up is going to be, right, 20. That's how it's going to start. Plus another $3.50 per hour. So $3.50 per, that means multiplied, by the number of hours. So X, okay? And that equals, right, how many hours did you stay if you paid a total, so total means equals, total of $34. So equals 34. okay? And then we just solve it, right? It's just like the normal problems we've been working with. So first thing, we want the variable by itself. So let's draw our line. Undo this positive 20. So let's subtract 20 from both sides. Draw our line. 20 minus 20, 0 pair. We're gonna bring down the 350x. 34 minus 20, well, that's 14. No, I'll put equal sign, okay? Now, I want the x by itself, right? So to undo that 350 times x, well, we'll just divide both sides by 350, right? Even though it's money, right, we can still divide it. So 350x divided by 350, that's still a value of 1, right? Because it's the same number on top and bottom. So I get 1x equals 14 divided by 350. If you put that in your calculator, you get 4, right? So x equals 4, okay? But that's not really my final answer, right? Because they didn't ask what is x, right? They asked how many hours did you stay, okay? So since it's a word problem, we have to write kind of like a little sentence. So if x is 4, that means you stayed for 4 hours. Final answer. That's it. Okay? So yeah, x is 4 is right technically, but it needs to be kind of in terms of the word problem. Okay? So that's it. So if y'all have any questions, you can ask your teacher, right? These notes are going to be posted if you need them, right? And that's about it. So y'all have a good day.